excited to have the opportunity to delve into the book Social Value Investing by Howard Buffett and William Emmeke.
Throughout the course of our discussion, we look forward to diving into our book and providing our insights on each section, with the goal of providing a deeper understanding of the essence of Buffett and Emmeke's case studies and framework so that we can have an incredible discussion in class on next Wednesday.
We'll specifically highlight the 5 P's: process, people, place, performance, and portfolio. The benefits of social value investing, cross-sector partnerships, and how all of these principles can be brought together in a meaningful way to accomplish the mission to serve the public through transformational change.
Process is the first stage in the 5 P's of social value investing. Process played a crucial role in Digital India Initiative, which was founded to provide India's more than 1.3 billion citizens with a secure identification card through which they could access various public and private sector services. For a country where more than 21% of population still lives on $1 a day or less, these schemes can prove to be very beneficial. It was primarily established to stop corruption problems faced by low-wage earners. It also meant usage of biometric security, due to which residents can conduct banking and access important personal documents such as identity card, voter registration, deeds and permits, and driver's licenses. For instance, while I was working with an NGO in India, I was able to see the impact that Aadhaar card had made on lives of farmers who were able to utilize their fertilizer subsidies provided by the government without any middlemen who would ask them for a bribe, or they would end up paying a bribe. Similarly, in healthcare, through cross-sector partnership between the Indian government, private corporation, Apollo hospitals, and local residents, village local entrepreneurs led to affordable healthcare services through telemedicine. Such partnerships allow to build on each other's expertise, improve performance for each organization through broad range of diverse actors.
Whether you've been to New York City or just know about it, you've probably heard about Central Park, or also the new development on the High Line. These parks obviously provide immense value to the societies around them, but they were not able to be started without a very complex system of partnerships and agreements through the government, philanthropic sources, and strong community leaders, which is why I want to focus on 5 types of leadership that Buffett prioritizes in his social value investing model, these being intellectual leadership, representative leadership, transactional leadership, inspirational leadership, and organizational leadership. And then mention 3 overarching traits that I found to be important for people involved in projects like these. Specifically related to the Central Park and the High Line and the intellectual leaderships, we think of people like the architects and Olmsted. These are thought leaders, process innovators, and people that focus on knowledge development. With representative leadership, this is prioritizing the city government officials and people that can push through the complex zoning regulations that existed for especially the High Line in its development. For transactional, these are people like Michael Bloomberg, philanthropists, people that are funding the projects. The inspirational leadership I see as the most important of them. These are the people that have a deep pulse on the community, like Betsy Rogers in Central Park, and are the integrators that can blend different systems and be really aware of the context for getting the different stakeholders at the right table. And lastly, for organizational, these are the people on the ground focusing on the long-term development, and this was the Central Park Conservancy and the Friends of the High Line. Throughout all stages of partnership engagement in a specific project, Buffett emphasizes that leaders need to recognize the need to build and nurture a team's cross-sector identity. What does he mean by that? Basically, that they're bought in, they're skilled in change management, and they're long-term oriented.
So in the Place chapter, Howard Buffett and William Emmeke focus on how important collaboration is when solving complex issues in social values investing. Place is really important is because when you start to look at the differences between problems in social value investing, you have to really focus on how that place is particular to its problem. So the problem that they use as a case example is when the United States Department of Defense focused on helping solve the productivity problem in agricultural communities in rural Afghanistan. They ran into, to keep it simple, there are 3 things that I want to communicate to you that I learned from reading this chapter and trying to understand how important and what we need to take away the place is when solving complex problems in social values investing. To start, every partnership when creating solutions is unique. You have to look at the details of the problem in order to understand where the solution will come from. The second thing, relationships are super important, because when the community doesn't feel understood, trust is broken, or at least hard to make and create. And then there's no productivity that occurs because the 2 big power players, the funders and the community members that are benefiting, can't work together. The last main takeaway that I have from this chapter is the real importance for open, honest communication. When coming into a new community and trying to help them build anywhere from their education practices to their agricultural practices, it's essential to make sure that the stakeholders understand what's going on from beginning to end.
The 5th P in the social value investing framework, or performance, really brings the other 4 P's together in a powerful way and allows for transformational change to be effected in a long-term and sustainable fashion. Through being able to define success and defining what success is and therefore measuring success, we're able to then allocate capital effectively in a way that, once again, emphasizes transparency and accountability. Through leveraging the power of cross-sector partnerships and being able to really bring in the voices from all different facets of the community, whether that's community organization, whether that's government, or whether that's businesses, and leveraging this performance mechanism to create a mechanism of standardization along with flexibility built in is really a great way to be able to understand, once again, the value that these performance measures are creating to society. The chapter also highlights the value of looking at the IRR, or the impact rate of return, a unique measure which really underscores the value that an initiative can create on society and forecast an initiative's performance. Through being able to look at key impact indicators, we're able to understand the value that this initiative can have on society. As we've seen through research conducted by the Global Impact Investing Network, measures of success are impacted by how they're defined. And through being able to provide a common framework by which measures of success can be defined, these different counterparts and these different factors of societies across different partnerships can be brought together in a really unique and insightful way. Through looking at different characteristics such as the impact theme, the goal for the impact theme, and key impact indicators, all these characteristics can be brought together to ultimately calculate the impact rate of return. And so the 5th P, performance, really brings the other 4 P's together and does so in a way that's sustainable, that's meaningful, and impactful. By providing a mechanism of standardization with inherent flexibility inbuilt, it really allows to look at the benefits of a forward-looking approach, and in the end, work towards the goal of being able to create transformational change for society and serve the public in a meaningful and impactful way.
Amicky and Buffett also stress portfolio as one of the 5 P's of social value investing. Portfolio is based off modern portfolio theory, in which investors invest in diverse capital pools to affect or offset risk. Portfolio is implemented in social value investing when multiple streams of capital are involved. Philanthropic and financial sources are blended to create mutually beneficial results. They introduced the case of Comunitas, a Brazilian NGO that facilitates a relationship between Brazilian government entities and private entities. Public faith in the government went down in 2012, so the organization Comunitas enacted the Juntos program. They created a network of private sector leaders and worked with municipalities to solve problems in their local government. What is important about this program and why it's relevant to portfolio is that they created value for the public by offsetting risk to its partners through a blended capital approach that utilized philanthropic and capital investment. It is unlikely that Juntos would have been able to fundraise capital required through one source. This is especially true because the location where Juntos was intending to spark change, Brazil, did not have the bandwidth to fund the ambitious program. In places where local government or markets do not have access to the capital required to implement these programs, innovative financing is necessary for acquiring the requisite capital to make these happen.
As we've seen through the course of the video, the 5 Ps can provide a deeper and nuanced perspective into social value investing, and how that can be effectively and meaningfully created by leveraging the power of cross-sector partnerships.
Given the complexity of social value investing and the diverse range of stakeholders, using these principles can be exceptionally valuable in creating and promoting initiatives that positively impact society and help problems worth solving in a long-term, purposeful, and sustainable manner.
With that, we'll leave you with a couple of questions. How can we consider competing class interests when we talk about social value investing? And also, with the grand challenges that our generation faces today, are there any specific industries that you think social value investing would be more applicable to?
Thank you so much for your time and attention. We look forward to seeing you soon. Bye!